Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the Dota2Canada Cup Season 6 group stages. We are here with the last game. My name is Bot. I'm chilling here today with my friend Jay Beebs in the background. Both of us very disappointed the way Pitmuckle draws a question mark and the fact that he's European and currently observing for us here in Canada Cup. And he doesn't flame. All of these things added up. You know, JJ, really just some great stuff. Some great stuff. You know, we got our last game of the evening. It's, of course, not today for Slayer of the Gods. We'll get into the draft. I'm here with Lurker Derp as well as Pitmuckle, as I just mentioned, and Purge doing the analysis. What's up, bud?
Not much. Excited to watch Game 3, Slayer versus Not Today here. Hopefully they can do well. It should be a pretty even match, but at the moment, Not Today keeps impressing me personally, especially DDX, man. He looks like just as good as he was when he was at the height of his pro play a couple of years ago. That must have been like 3 or 4 years ago, but he is still completely on point.
Post TI2 Root Gaming DDX, what a player he was. Might get back to that level. I mean, we'll have to see. Last game, Leo Style, I think, really impressed me. I remember seeing him and just not being super impressed, or not really remembering too much about him, but he's gone above and beyond, especially in that last game. Some really good support play. Slayers, they're gonna have to do some work here in this game. They barely squeaked it out against Boreal, who Not Today just trashed pretty heavily. Obviously, those things aren't always, they don't always correlate whatsoever. But 504 was the player that impressed me for Slayer of the Gods. Their Razor player, which was Valencia or Kaiser, might be named Schofield this time, or could be a completely different player. I'm not, really sure. We're into the draft, though, and some pretty standard bans. The Darkseer, the Undying, this time the Queen of Pain after watching what Not Today did with it. I think that's fair. And Slayer of the Gods will go ahead and ban out the Slaughter as their last ban.
So pretty standard stuff. I guess Slaughter didn't really get that heavy of a nerf, so I think he's still pretty strong. Not too surprised to see him banned, but and I guess Undying as well. You know what? Maybe this patch isn't going to change that much in terms of picks. I'm not sure. We'll see how things progress, but all of those heroes are still very strong. Tusk as well.
I feel like it's just going to take longer to get into the swing of things.
You're probably right about that. And usually when a new patch comes out, there's going to be a lot of little tiny patches that come less than maybe a month after, maybe sometimes even 2 weeks, 3 weeks, where, for example, if a patch comes out, they basically say, oh, we buffed the crap out of Doom, he's way too good, they nerf him instantly. And it's maybe not a huge nerf, but it's a little bit of a nerf. So if these moderate nerfs to Tusk prove to be not heavy enough, then he will get nerfed again.
Yeah,
and it'll come soon. So don't fret too much if things seem still out of balance, if the pro scene is still the same heroes that we saw previous, which obviously is impossible because Winter Wyvern's gone. But if it's still too much the same, it will be adjusted.
I'm just glad Doom and Winter Wyvern are kind of out. I actually liked seeing Winter Wyvern. I think he's a lot of fun to watch, but they changed his Winter's Curse drastically, and they said, hey, listen, we're going to have to take you out. And they took him out not because he's too strong, which is usually the case for Captain's Mode, but because it almost feels like he's too weak, and they want to see what they need to do to tweak the numbers and how good it actually is, And I think that's fair enough. So Winter Wyvern out of the pool. So instead, they'll pick up an Io for the Slayer of Gods. And then Shadow Fiend has been picked up for Not Today. Almost no chance he goes for the Aghanim Scepter. However, the Raze nerf, I guess, is a bit more interesting with the mana cost.
90 mana instead of 75 is pretty big, because it used to be, 225 mana to cast 3 Razes. Now it's going to cost you 270. That's about the difference of a bottle charge. So it'll hurt his jungling a lot. Also, neutral camps will give each other magic resistance auras. So as a whole, this is the first time I'm actually going to see SF played in this patch, so we're going to learn a lot from this game, I think, both with Tusk and SF.
Yeah, that's the thing. I want to see how big this mana nerf actually comes into play. Is it going to be negligible? I'm sure there's going to be a point where he needs to hit that last race to get a kill, and he just doesn't get it. And that's going to happen a lot. I think that's going to happen in almost like every game of Dota 2 from now on. Like, he's just not going to have the mana to throw up those raises.
It also might very realistically push the mech build out of the meta. It's another thing that people don't necessarily think about as much, is it changes your build sometime. You might argue like, oh, I need more mana items, so I'm going to always buy an Aquila, maybe instead of skipping it occasionally. Or maybe I always need a wand instead of skipping it normally. So things like that can really impact his ability to farm as well, because it changes how much he can accelerate. So now that the mech build is 100% on a Shadow Fiend, even though it was more rare, and he might not be able to build that against certain lineups, and it might make Shadow Fiend overall a little bit weaker than he was before.
I agree with you. I don't think the mech build is maybe it's a little viable, but I don't think the percentage is definitely going to go down of people that build it. I'm sure that's going to be the case. And obviously, they have a Tusk, so Tusk will be able to build a mech of his own if he wants to. It's not super prominent, but it used to be at the very least, and you could still pick it up if you want to. They'll have another pick here. Dazzle's picked up for Slayer of Gods. He was nerfed slightly again. Tweaked up, if you will. I think the Grave cast point was changed. Grave range, I think, was changed.
No, range is the same. It takes slightly longer to cast. Weave no longer gives flying vision, it gives ground vision, whatever the heck that means. I'm guessing that means you can see everything except above trees. And Poison Touch mana went down to 70, which is so low. So I don't think that's going to make people skill Poison Touch, but it is going to allow them to be played in a slightly different way, I think. They might have to change the scaling of the slow for Poison Touch to actually become useful, I think.
Yeah, that's just an ability that, like, people often just don't ever get that ability, or wait for a long time to get Poison Touch. I think the change is going to maybe sway some people towards the ability, but maybe not as much as you might like. Speaking of changes, Alchemist's Bounty, Greevil Greed, usefulness was nerfed. The 3 times now, Greevil's Greed at level 1 instead of the 5 times is pretty significant, but they still go for him. I guess if you get enough farm, this hero is still very strong, and we've seen the particular builds that work, like the Treads, the Solar Crest, the SNY, and potentially Shadow Blade. Like, there's good items for this hero, and Radiance Mantis Sal is maybe not the item to go for.
Yeah, I don't think that build is very good. They also buffed Silver Edge, so Silver Edge is maybe a bit more valuable than it was before. But Not Today is basically going with the strategy of, it's a new patch, we're still going to pick all the OP heroes from the last game, but get them all in the same game, and see how well that works out for us. Slayer of the Gods is like, alright, we're going to pick the new heroes that we think might be good, and Batrider may be one of them.
He's not. He's not good.
Are you sure? That new item is okay with him.
Which one?
The one that increases your range, because then your lasso range more than doubles.
Forgot about that. I still think he's not good, especially in the early game. I mean, they're gonna want to offlane with him because that's really all that you can do. You can't really jungle with him anymore. I mean, I guess you kind of can, but I don't know, man.
Oh yeah, that's a good point because stacks got nerfed as well, so his ability to do that was bad. His base HP regen increased from 0.5 to 2, and his flame break mana cost scales with the levels now. Probably not enough buffs to make him amazing, but considering the kind of game that they're going to be playing against a Shadow Fiend and a Alchemist, I think having a Batrider is pretty useful, actually, since they can go look for those kills a bit easier.
Then boom.
They're lacking damage, though. They've got an IO and a Dazzle.
Yeah, that's not great.
So they're going to need a really high damaging second, like a mid-hero that can rotate a lot. Queen of Pain's banned. Because right now, Batrider doesn't combo with any of these heroes. In fact, I think the Dazzle pick may have been a mistake for that reason.
They don't have Tiny, he's not available. Amber Spirit's been banned out. There's no Quap, like you mentioned, they banned that up themselves. There's still some decent mid-heroes with good damage. I can't think of one off the top of my head. I'm sure there's something. The Vengeful Spirit is available now with the swap at the ready. I guess you could go Wind Ranger. That might be pretty good with the Batrider. Possibility.
I don't think it's particularly amazing against SF Alchemist, though, because those heroes get fairly tanky.
Yeah.
Wow, TA is still in the game. TA I think would be very good. Yeah, TA is amazing in this game.
Alright. There you have it, Slayer of the Gods. You know what you need to do. If it doesn't get banned out here, which it very well could. That hero is still very strong, can still jungle. Got Refraction is now always visible, which is... That should have been the case from the get-go, probably, but that's what they changed.
But for an anti-core hero, TA is very good. If she gets a little bit ahead in SF, in farm, she can wreck him. She can gank Alchemist with Batrider. Those 2 heroes alone would be very good gank-wise. I would really like TA. I think that was a great call.
They have plenty of... Well, actually, they only have 16 seconds of reserve time. Come on, Slayer of the Gods, you can do it. You could pick that hero. Get the TA. It's not great against Acid Spray. It's going to be Alk Safe Lane. Shadow Fiend's going to be going mid. I mean, it's okay. It's actually a pretty good matchup for TA in that.
Is Venge going to build an eggs?
I know. You talked about that yesterday. You seemed super hyped about it. I can't play you.
Yeah, I want to play more Venge now, just because that. Because whenever you play Venge, you don't scale very well. So I'm thinking about trying a new build that lets me do that.
My lord!
Well, it's very good with IO if you tether before the rage, because you're going to run really fast and attack really fast. His damage output is amazing versus tanky heroes, and Not Today is filled with tanky heroes.
What is this laning setup here? What?
Offlane for what? Not today.
Yeah, it's a Ben Haas is playing the Viper.
Is this a support alc?
Yeah,
it is. This a support alc?
It's certainly a support alc because DDX is playing offlane Tusk. It looks like.
Okay, I think he might be okay. If he goes for the Talon thing, this might work. But probably still won't work. But it might work.
Is he just gonna jungle? Is that what you're thinking?
I mean, he needs farm, right? You don't pick an Alchemist support Alchemist support is clearly, it's just simply not good anymore.
No,
recently. Like, the heroes got popular again because of how fast he farms, which is how the hero should have been the whole time, you know? Not all those days when Alkstun did tons of damage and stuff.
Medallion, Acid Spray, Stun.
Exactly. So what he should do now is, if you can find a way for Alchemist to be a support and still find some farm, then he's going to be good. And that item might be a way to do that, because between ganks you can actually do some jungle.
Is he going to buy it? Is he going to buy it?
The problem, though, the problem with it is that he can't transition as well into that, and he doesn't have HP sustain as well until he hits 6, so he actually isn't that good at jungling. But maybe if he just goes to a bounty rune and he gets a bounty rune at the start of the game, it'll essentially have them have 4 cores. If they can get away with that, then it's going to be amazing.
That's the greediest thing I've ever
heard. And they don't find a way to do it. Well, it's pretty greedy, but it's not like ridiculously greedy. Here comes the smoke, though.
They're going to find Leo style. They need open wounds. They need the tethered move speed. They're actually not going to get this kill. He's still taunting them. Don't dive behind the tower, Van. It's not worth it. That's a smoke. That's 50 gold down the drain, and one of your smokes used up. Great. You know, I really wanted more taunting from Shadow Fiends. That's exactly what I needed in my Dota 2 lifestyle. I actually am happy
about these ones. He deserves to. They deserve to be taunted for that one, man. You break a smoke like that and get out. Like, that's a sick play.
That's fair. If he keeps doing it the entire game, I'm going to lose it, though. I'm telling you right now. By the way, this is the first time I've seen a Fairy Fire bot in pubs as well as in Pro Dota. Like, how is this thing any good?
I don't like it in this case, but it does allow him the potential to outplay your opponents. If he thinks he's about to die, you can save him.
Yeah, 75 health. A little bit of a stick charge kind of thing. Van was trying to secure the bottom rune. Is Jerry? There's the acid spray. Alright, now this is bad. I don't think you can fight it acid spray, but the rock brush comes out and Goody went for the shadow wave. Or rather, the vengeful spirit was the way to tear.
They just don't have the damage. It was looking kind of good, but always.
Where are you going, Jerry? They're not respawned yet. It's not gonna work. Well, it was a good try. They get 2 quick kills, and oh god, that's not the start for Not Today. This honestly, again, I should have mentioned this at the top of the broadcast, but Not Today. If they win this game, or rather, if they win this game, then Slayers are out, and you've got Shazam as well as Not Today in the playoffs. Otherwise, it's a 3-way tie. So Slayer absolutely need to win this game.
Well, the draft looks pretty good to me. There may be some other abuse thing that they can leverage with Lifestealer that hasn't really been super discovered yet. I mean, that initial fight looked okay with the Wave of Terror and the Acid Spray, but it wasn't perfectly placed on the rune. If that would have been more on the rune, maybe they could have fought. But they just didn't have the damage. They didn't have the right clicks. If they had 5 heroes there, they would have won that fight with all the minus armor. But they didn't have 5.
Top? Benhas is dead! Firefly and 6 stacks of sticky napalm, and that's easy. 504 gets an easy kill on a Viper, who is usually pretty competent and easy to landing with. So it's very strange that happened.
Yeah, once the Barretter gets on top of him, he just dies. He doesn't have corrosive skin yet, so he couldn't slow the bat. Now bat's level 3.
Okay, alright, I take it back. I'm sure this hero's fine.
Well,
in this scenario, anyway.
Barretter bought a bottle. He could buy this from the side shop here with 1 rune. I think he should have bought it, honestly, from the side shop.
Wait for that 2-minute rune to spawn and then head top and get that.
Yeah. He could actually use the bottle charge, go to the rune in 30 seconds, fill it up, at the same time as his bottle will get to him now. Because it's just a regular courier, right?
Yeah, it is.
I guess the mid heroes don't need it, so I guess it's okay, but...
Yeah. They have Z-Talk, and he probably wants to get the top. Oh, what are you doing, Z-Talk? Don't be that freaking greedy. Vulcan down bottom gets killed in the Tusk. Van was using the open wounds, the Shadow Wave with the Poison Touch came out, and that was that. So easily done there. And Van's just... By the way, we have to keep in mind that the Infest cooldown is 50 seconds at its max level, which is very quick from what it used to be, which is just 100 seconds total.
And that's mostly good because it allows them to gank a little bit more, in my opinion. And a couple explosions, like a 400, 700 damage radius, that's like the whole screen, basically. He's going to hit everything with that Infest later.
Uh-oh, Vulcan in trouble. Ice Shards are available. He does not have Grave. He's got Shadow Wave. He actually doesn't have mana for it. He heals himself with the Fairy Fire. Vulcan going toe-to-toe. The Shadow Wave will go. The Heal Bomb will do some work. And DDX getting chased down with the open wounds. He gets outplayed by the Vulcan Dazzle.
That was sick.
That was real nice.
That's why he got the skill point, man. That worked out really nicely. But the heal on himself, he waited for the open wounds, and all of a sudden when you Shadow Wave, you heal from the magic damage you do to a target. And it kept him alive massively. Got so much HP from that. And DDX surely didn't anticipate that much kind of a swing.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. And so Slayers are in a very good spot, but despite Benhaas's death, he is still leading the way in CS. Sticky Napalm being annoying, and 504 going ahead and just trying to right-click and do as much as he can. This Alk is level 2 now. He has his stun up, but he's not farming. He's not got his Gribble's Grid. Meanwhile, mid lane, Schofield. Oh, God, what is it with these question marks? Dear Lord. Shadow Fiend will go down. That's not good.
Oh, he's maxing out Homing Missile. That's actually so good versus SF in a 1v1. Because it does so much damage, especially when you have this extra mana that a Wisp can give you. It's just, you leverage it so well.
The mid gyrocopter.
They should go on
Rock Brush will go. Yep, there's the tether. And Slow didn't actually do much. Leo style now. Oh, the raise. They'll get Z-Talk. And
okay.
Schofield is going to keep diving as the Dazzle will come into the backside. Goody getting destroyed by the right click. And there's the homing missile damage doing some work. Leo style, last right click. DDX will get in. They have the Grave. Yes, he gets it off in time. The last tower hit will not do enough even with the Grave on. And Vulcan will actually have to Shadow Wave and do some extra damage to DDX. Now there's the Poison Touch. DDX cannot stand up to this guy. There's the tether. The overcharge comes out. DDX doesn't have any mana for Ice Shards or Snowball. It was just like time, but they get the double for the Dazzle. That's huge. He's got so much money now.
Okay, Wisp plus Dazzle is pretty good for keeping your HP up, it turns out.
Poison Touch. That's the ability.
He's gotten the level 2. It makes the slow a little bit better. Not amazing still. But 70 mana is so little. Like, you can spam that so much now.
There's a double damage at 504. He does not have Lasso, but dear Lord, is he destroying Benhaas. He actually has been slowed up by the Nether Toxin and Poison Sack. Here comes the stun. The Acid Spray. Can they turn this? Benhaas salves up. One more right click will do the job for 504, and he will get the kill. Now can he get Jerry? Firefly still going. He's bottling his way through. Jerry is only level 2. There's still the double damage. He's got 3 stacks on him as well. He's got the stun. He's going to have to use it, but he will go down in time as 504 gets the double. And Schofield gets another mid. The XDs fly. Both the South American squads giving him the BM, the business, if you will. Bottom lane now. Van, open wounds goes. The rage as well. Actually doesn't have mana for the open wounds, but it's got the rage, and of course, with the stun comes out. The acid spray is just enough. DDX is able to salve and stay alive. I thought that last right click coming through would have done the job with the phase boots. Didn't get it off in time.
That was pretty sick. So he bought himself 3 seconds with the snowball, didn't actually stun afterwards because he just used Enrage, and the nice TP by Jerry. Jerry activated his stun and then he teleported, and by doing that the stun damage was high enough as he arrived.
504 is going to have a couple of creeps stacked up here. This is going to get him even closer to the Blank Dagger. He's going to have like a 7-minute Blank Dagger in 6.86 when Batrider is not supposed to be this strong. Or maybe he is, who knows. DDX down bottom, Rage and open wounded up. Stun's available, and they could throw it on Van, and they more than likely will. The body block will go. Nicely done from Jerry, and DDX will stay alive. The stun getting charged up. He's getting actually blocked by the creeps. He can't get vision. He'll stun himself. He will not get dove, however. His Van is actually stuck in the tree line. He needs to eat his way out. You have 1 tango. You better use it wisely. No, go right here.
He needs to. It doesn't work. He can't walk through there.
Oh, he's dead.
He's gonna die now.
Oh, good rage.
Good stun.
I mean, he's still healed up. Does he have Grave? He does. Missile. Grave range is not quite there yet. Van, he's trying to eat his way through, but no! Does this work? Can he get through? There's a rock formation there. Van is in trouble. He'll infest into the creep and stay alive. He'll jump out. Now Goody doesn't have his magic missile. There's the ice shards. Van somehow still alive. How is he living?
Oh,
Rage comes through. They're turning this. Jerry's barely living himself. Finally, they will get the kill, but Vulcan, great heal coming out with the fairy fire. Jerry's still up and ready, but he goes down to the poison touch, and DDX survives at the end of it all. The Shadow Fiend died mid after a gank. He's actually up into the jungle area. Will take some stacks as well. Slayers are owning.
That fight was so fun to watch. Like, that was so technical down on the bot lane. They saved all their abilities so well. Both teams min-max very well, but Lifestealer, man, every time he hits you, he's healing a lot of health, and he's able to eke out some advantage there.
Radiant's top tower is
This certainly, I think, the Blink Dagger coming out from 504 here. These two creeps. Yep,
we got another Viper with no ulti at level 6. The strats continue.
Yeah, but he didn't go for the Nether Tox. He went for the 2 in Corrosive Skin. Or 3 in Corrosive Skin.
Why do people not get another? It's 1 skill point, guys. Like, it's a difference of 5% magic resistance and like a little bit of slow. Like, it's a marginal benefit to get an extra point. I just don't get this. Like, Viper Strike does so much. At the very least, it's a great slow for 5 seconds.
I don't disagree. Goody got dope. Now the TP's coming in. This will be from the Viper. Again, doesn't have Viper
Oh, could
Strike.
you use a Viper Strike right now?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get called out on how is he going to chase this. In fact, he's going to get turned down. Rocket Barrage, Goody walks into his death, and Benhaz, they'll go toe-to-toe. The overcharge won't be enough. No, Benhaz will fall as Van walks in. He's got the open wounds, so phase forward. He's still slowed up for the grocery skin. There's the lasso. The rage will go. The open wounds will follow soon after. Here's the snowball first and foremost. Infest is up in 2, by the way. Snowball goes. Open wounds will go. They don't even need it. He doesn't pop it off. And 5-4 is dominating. They show off the blink at 8 minutes in. And that was a 2-for-2 trade in the end, but dear lord, it's 18-6.
Yeah, that's some advantage there. Jerry at the moment still level 4 on his Alchemist. I don't really see him contributing a lot to this game, honestly.
What has he done?
Very little. I think they just rotated it because they felt outpicked by the Lifestealer. Because the Lifestealer is a good
God.
kind of...
Goody, we'll see you later. Relocate in. Rocket Barrage will fly. He's got Magic Missile. Use it on Z-Talk. That does literally nothing. And more pauses.
You know, in some ways, Gyro did get buffed due to Phase Boots, actually. Because you very often will build Phase on Gyro, and now he can cast spells while using Phase. So, very slightly buffed.
What did I change with Phase? I feel
you
like
can cast spells without removing the duration, the active.
That's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, so a pretty good buff there for Gyro in some ways. Despite his cooldown getting nerfed, he's been very active early, and he's definitely leveraging Rocket Barrage.
Yeah, this is actually... That's a really important change. You could just run at people with your Rocket Barrage and Phase. That's huge.
Yeah, same with Lifesteal, actually, another hero that can benefit from that, since he might cast Rage when he needs to. He doesn't want to break his Phase. Sometimes you have to Phase up to open wounds afterwards, and now he doesn't waste that time at all.
It's Slayers. They figured it out. They've got the patch.
It's Phase Boots, man. Phase Boots heroes.
They've done it. How's the Shadow Fiend doing? Oh, God, not very well. Look at his net worth. Look how far behind he is. He's behind the IO. Good thing he's a Shadow Fiend. He can farm with Razes. Sad thing that they changed his mana cost for that ability. But he should be okay maybe later on down the road if they can figure out something. They're going to get this tower. It'll be denied or taken one way or the other. And DDX is going to go with the Snowball. They have the Viper chasing him down. Good Ice Shards. Call down will fly. There's the Walrus Punch, and DDX has to piece out. And Schofield is still in trouble. He pops the drum, and now Cherry cannot get it. Top lane, Z-Talk, IO, and 504 will get a kill on the Shadow Fiend. They were all busy mid trying to kill that Schofield Gyrocopter, but he popped the drum charge and got out of there.
No. What happened is Viper didn't use his frickin' poison attack, and he also didn't use his ultimate that he didn't skill. I honestly am so confused what this stupid trend is of not getting Viper Strike. It's 1 skill point. It does 300 damage.
Alright, so you know how much I like Viper, right? I play this hero a lot. I agree with you completely. I honestly have no idea. That's just, it's dumb. It's very dumb. It's 1 point, guys. It's not going to change the world.
Like, yeah, 4 points for 300 damage. A lot of people make that decision playing heroes, but 1 skill point, it only costs 125 mana, and you use almost no mana on this hero. Like, why would you not get the skill point?
The entire
this is so stupid.
Of Viper is keeping them in your range and then just chewing them down with right clicks. That's kind of how you play the hero. And foregoing that ability just boggles my mind. I'm not sure why, but I don't understand what they're doing. Either way, Firefly, they'll blink Lasso. He doesn't have a 4-staff out yet. And they're going to jump in. And actually, a little bit too late to the party. 504 is dead, but the Rocket Barrage and Call Down, the damage is real. And Jerry's going to get caught. Poison attack. The Dazzle's going to work with the illusions. He actually soloed up the Alchemist, and Goody's going to go down to the Rocket Barrage. Vulcan gets a double kill on this Dazzle. He is a farm mother. He's sitting on 1400. They're not done yet. Leo style can't even TP out. And that's it. It's GG.
Oh
not today. We'll go to 2-1 in Slayers of God. They'll get the win. Just like they lost 2 days, or yesterday actually, in 9 minutes. They'll win in 10:45. And we have a 3-way tie again between Shazam, Not Today, and Slayers of Gods. Dear Lord.
What the hell? What the hell is happening, man?
6.86, dude. I don't know. All the games today have been clowning.
Well, I mean, we had a clowny game like this. It's Brazilian teams or something, man. This stuff's crazy. Like, basically, this is what happened. DDX got outplayed, like, twice due to the Dazzle Lifestealer lane, which is admittedly hard to kill due to Lifestealer healing. Like, he's a very strong core that's good at trading, right? Normally, carries are a little bit weaker by themselves. So Tusk got outplayed twice. That's DDX. He played amazing last game. They were forced to an Alchemist support. Viper died too many times. The Shadow Fiend died way too many times. They basically lost every lane there, and at that point, Slayer just wins. So if you play like this ultra aggression style that Slayer has been doing in other Brazilian teams, and it works, you look amazing, and they lose at 10 minutes. But if it fails, you look like idiots and you lose at 10 minutes. So it just comes down to being able to outplay your opponents.
Slayers have been on the receiving end and the giving end on both of the spectrums here, so that's pretty funny that they were able to eke out the win here at 10 some odd minutes, 10 minutes and 45 seconds, in fact, is the actual time. So with that, the games will end tonight. Purge, I know that you are going on break, I believe, tomorrow. I think you'll be done with us here, and I might be wrong. If you're available tomorrow, then by all means come cast, but I think you're done for now.
Yeah, I should probably not go tomorrow because I have to leave on Friday, and then I'm technically not supposed to make videos for like a week and a half, but the patch just hit, so I kind of need to make a lot of videos tomorrow.
All right, well, we'll have somebody else in for you as you are away and for the rest of the time. So have a great Christmas. I hope to see you after Christmas for something. And obviously back here at Canada Cup for the playoffs later on down the road. So shout out to him. Make sure you follow him at Purge Gamers if you're not doing so already. Of course, this is moonducktv. Make sure you follow us on moonducktv on Twitter and here at the twitch.tv/moonducktv channel if you're watching in-game. Thank you for supporting Canada Cup. The ticket is $2.99. Definitely check it out if you enjoy some in-game action. Watch with your beautiful new desert terrain set if you'd like. What else? Shout out to our sponsors, G2A.com, twitch.tv, as well as SteelSeries. Make sure you check out Vulcan.com for fantasy esports. If you'd like to check that out, you can check that out over there using the promo code Canada Cup. My name is Walt. You can follow me at Mototo. With me is Pitmuckle doing the observing and producing it. You can follow him at Pitmuckle. And of course, LurkerDerp. Our stats lady here today is on stats. You can follow her at LurkerDerp as well. We've timed out. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you tomorrow for some more action, which I believe is Group C. And we'll start out with Complexity as well as Void Boys at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. See you guys then.